Yesterday we learned about the death of Miriam and the subsequent shortage of water. And immediately after that, the demands of the Jewish people for water. And Moses making the mistake of striking the rock. And how very difficult it was not for him to make this mistake. So we see that, first of all, God told Moses and Aaron to go together with this, making this mistake of the rock. God says, you and Aaron, your brother, and you should speak to the rock. And the Ohr HaChaim, which we didn't do this because we didn't have time, he said that what were they supposed to do? They were supposed to have said words of Torah to the rock. Long, beautiful explanation of it. We can't go through the whole thing. But he said that they should have said words of Torah to the rock, and that would have brought water from the rock. But they didn't. Moses didn't do it, and Aaron didn't do it. So it says, Dibartem elasela, speak to the rock. It says the Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh, who sheyeshaneh of perek echad. They should have taught one idea from the Torah. V'ulo asaken, and he didn't do so. And this is a sin. This is a sin. So he said that there were several sins here, but that's sin number 2. And then another one is that he hit the stone twice. And the first sin was that Moses said to God, you think I'm going to be able to bring, he said, you think I'm going to be able to bring water from this rock, etc. Okay, in any case, that was a sin they did. So they did the sin together. We're going to talk, the Ohr HaChaim is going to talk about this in a moment also. But it ended up that they didn't do it. Moshe took the stick and like God commanded him, and he gathered all the people and he struck the rock. And God said, and water came out. So God said to Moses and Aaron, because Aaron was there, and exactly what was Aaron's part in the whole thing? Aaron should have also spoken to the rock. If Moses didn't do it, anyway, since you didn't believe me to sanctify name in my name in front of all the Jewish people, therefore, you too are not going to bring the Jewish people into the land of Israel. So it was already declared that Aaron and Moshe are going to die before they entered the land of Israel. And this is talking about the waters of argument, the contentious waters that the Jewish people fought against God, the Kadesh Bam, and they became holy. Who became holy? It says that Moshe and Aaron died because of it. They became Kodesh, means they became removed from the world. The sanctified also sanctifies God's name, because it shows that God is very exact with his people, and that even with the big holy people, right? Nobody is gets special preference treatment. Okay, now now they want to go into the land of Israel. So Moses sends messengers from this place where they were in Kadesh. Now in Kadesh, this place Kadesh, they camped there for 19 years of their travels in the desert. So anyway, he sent these messengers to the king of Edom. And he said, listen, we're your brother. Remember, Edom was the brother of Yaakov, but Edom sort of took a totally different path. So yeah, Moses is now trying to go through the land of Edom to make a straight journey to Israel, to the promised land. And he said, you know all of the difficulties that we had that have occurred to us, right? What happened? Our fathers went to Egypt. They were there a long time. The Egyptians did bad to us. We cried out to God. He listened to our voice. This is all in the message that he's sending to the king of Edom to, be friendly and, we just want to pass through the land after we are family. And God sent an angel, which is Moses, and he took us out of Egypt. Said he sent an angel, that's Moses. From here we learned that the prophets are called angels. And he took us out of Egypt, and now we are in this place called Kodesh, which is at the boundary of the end of your boundary. End of your boundary. So come on, let us go. We want to go through your land. We're not going to pass through any lands or in any of your fields. We're not going to wreck up your fields or your vineyards. We're not even going to drink any water from your wells. We're not going to deplenish your supplies over there. Derech Amelek Nilech. We're going to go the way of a king. What does it mean? We'll go to the main road, the main highways, and we won't go to the left or the right. All we just want to do is just go right through, take the highway, and go. Derech Amelech Anachtu Chosmim et Behemtam. It says even more. We're going to put muzzles on our animals, and they won't incline one way or the other. They'll go straight. He says, let's go through the land. You can't complain that maybe you should be the owners of the land of Israel. Just let me, all we want to do is go through your land. We're not going to drink from your wells. This is what Moshe said. What do you mean with mer be'er? We won't drink from the water of your well. Hey, it should say may be'erot. It should say wells. But this is what Moses said. Alpi the avalpi sheyesh biyadenu man. We've got bread to eat. We have this manna coming from heaven, and we have the be'er. We have the well of Miriam, but we're not going to drink from it. We're not going to drink from our well and our food. What are we going to do? We're going to buy everything from you. Huh? You're going to make a big profit from us. We're 3 million people. This is only going to benefit your economy. From there we learn that a visitor, even though he's got what to eat, nevertheless he should buy from the people in the city in order that they should benefit from his staying there. Right? So that's what Moses said. So that's what he means. We won't drink from the well, means we won't drink from our own well. We'll buy it from you. What did anyway, you see that he's trying to become friendly with Edom. He's trying to become friendly with Edom. Vayomer and Edom said, oh yeah, sure, we're friends, we're family, got a good offering there. No way. Lo navor, you're not going to go through my land. You won't set your foot in my land. Why? Because if you do, I'm going to go out with a sword and make war with you. Rashi says, what type of a thing to say is that? I mean, what did the Jews, they didn't want to hurt anybody. They said, you'll even benefit. No way. What did Edom say to them? You are bragging the call and loud voice that you're bragging with about your voice that your forefathers gave to you, the power of prayer. Nitzach el Hashem, v'yishma kolenu. What are you saying, that you were in Egypt and you prayed out to God, God listened to you? Well, we also have something we inherited from our forefathers. Ani etzei alechem b'masho rishno avi. What my father says, al charbecha techyeh, says you'll live on the edge of your sword. You'll live on the sword. This is like what King David said. It says, I am for peace, and the other people I want to make peace with, they are for war. Here, the Sforno, he says that the multitude of the people, Hamon Am Edom Anshe Domim, the people of Edom are people that love blood. And for the smallest reason, Mamrim Zulato Shetipo ben Anshia Oretz, they Mamriva Mimriva Ozulat, any small reason, they like to make any sort of a this, and they and the people want to go out in a war against them. Right? They love it. They love making war. Here we see what happened in Germany. Oh, they loved the war. They were most promised them more. They were just so happy. So he said, you're not going to go through my land. In fact, we would sort of like it if you tried to go through our land so we can do what we're always thinking about anyway, and that is come out with a sword. So the Jewish people said, listen, but Mesila and Aleh, come on, we're going to go straight. If anybody drinks water or whatever, I'll give you your price. Rak ein davar b'raglila. Come on, let us go through. Ein davar ein shum davar mezikacha. We're not going to damage you at all. Come on, let us go through your land. Says the Sforano, we're going b'mesila nalahine ze ulai yikrem navor ba'arim. He said, maybe you're right, maybe something we're going to make trouble if we go, through your main cities. Maybe, you're worried, I can understand, but we're going to go through the main road. That what you said, that we're going to make people mad and that they're going to come out with a sword, that would be if we came near them, but we're not going to go near anybody. We're just going, a straight line, a straight line through the main highway. You haven't got any reason to make a war with us. This is end davar. Because you're giving a reason why you don't want us to go through your land, because you're afraid that we're going to arouse the people and they're going to come out and make war. So, okay, we're getting rid of this reason. We're not even going to go near any people. We're just going to go right through the city, and that's it. So Edom said, good reason. You got me convinced. No way. You're not going to go through my land. Lo navor, and he came out, and Edom came out just to show that he meant business, with a huge nation all clamoring with their swords and everything like that. They came out right to the boundary and said, you're not going to come in. So Edom refused to let the Jewish people go through the land, and the Jewish people had to turn their way. They had to make a detour and go around the land. So it says, the Ramban said, it's not that the Jewish people, they made a detour because the Edomites were threatening. They could care less about the Edomites. They just destroyed all these other people. It was because God told them, because God said, watch out, don't make war with them. Kasher Pirushlam, like Moshe is going to explain later on. God told them, do not make war with Edom. It's a commandment from God. It's a commandment from God. Don't make war with Edom. No matter what they do to you, don't make war. Okay, so they went from this place called Kodesh, and the Jewish people came to a place called Ohr HaChaim, the mountain of mountain. It's going to say it's like a mountain on top of a mountain. Mountain. Why is this put next to this thing? We're going to see. Rashi says, Kulam Shlemim. Kala Am. It says Kala Ida. The whole people came. Like we said before, remember that all the Jewish people were there and they're ready to go into the Holy Land. Shaloya Behen. There was not one of those people that was under the decree of this. Under one of the people that was that had been decreed that they're not going to come into the land of Israel. Now this is coming already. This is near. This is going to be the death of Aaron. Aaron died on Rosh Chodesh of. It says it later on in the Torah, Parshas Maseh. It talks about that Aaron died in the month of Av. And the Jewish people, this was the last year they were in the desert. And the Jewish people only realized that they had, everyone that was 20 years old and up had died because they didn't know. They didn't really make a count. I guess people didn't know how old they were. I don't know. But in any case, so all of the people that had been decreed that they're going to die in the desert, after they refused to go into the land of Israel, and so all those people had died, but they didn't really know that everybody had died. They're only going to find that out in Tu B'Av, like 2 weeks later, after this whole thing happens. Okay, in any case, the fact is that all of the people were there. No more people are going to die because of this decree. Shekavar Metu, all these people died. But these people, these are the ones that says we're going to learn. You are all going to remain alive. They all went into the land of Israel, etc. They came to a place which is called Ohr HaChaim, a mountain on top of a mountain. It's like a small apple on top of a big apple. Where is this place now? I don't know. Is there a mountain like this? We're talking about this happened almost 3,300 years ago. Even though that there was a cloud that went in front of them, and it said it knocked down all the mountains. Hey, I thought that the mountain says that the clouds knocked down the mountain. It also says that the Aaron Brit Hashem, the broken tablets, also went in front of them. So it leveled all the mountains. So how could they go to a mountain when there were no mountains? Aaron died in a mountain. I thought all the mountains were leveled down. So it says Shlosha Nisharu Kan Behen. There were three mountains that remained. What were the three mountains that remained? Shlosha Nisharu. Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, which remained from the Torah, because the clouds of glory, they were going in front of them after they left Egypt, before they received the Torah. So Mount Sinai remained. Har Novo remained. Why? Because that's where Moses is going to be buried. That's going to be the end of the Torah. And this mountain, Har Hor. Hashem said to Moshe and to Aaron on this place called Har Hor, on the boundary of Eretz Edom, saying, why does it have to tell you that it's in the boundary of Edom? Just 1 second. Hello. תצלצל עליי בבקשה עוד 20 דקות. טוב, אני באמצע משהו. תודה. God spoke to Moshe and Aaron on Mount Sinai, and where it was in the boundary of this place, Edom, right, which they went around. They read what's our boundary. Magid, this comes to tell you. I mean, what this is not we have a geography book. Why does it have to tell us where they were? To tell you, nitchabru kan nitkarev le Esav Russia, because they were so nice to Esav, and they wanted to sort of, let's go through your land and we'll be friendly and, we won't do anything. Therefore, nifratzu ma'asehem v'chasru atzadik hazeh. Because of this, they were sort of affected by the bad nature of Edom, and because of that, Aaron died. V'kein and Navi also, that's what it says in Yoshaphat, B'itchavrechaim achizatu paretz, because you gather together with these bad people, paretz Hashem et maasecha, therefore God broke through on your deeds. And here it says, the Ohr HaChaim says, hey, what do you mean? Aaron died because of that? That's not why he died. We learned before, just a few sentences ago, that the reason that Aaron died was because he struck the rock, or at least he was together with Moses striking the rock over there. And the Ohr HaChaim also explains that Aaron, like we talked about before, Aaron should have said a sentence or two, said words of Torah to the rock. That's what God wanted him to do, to speak a paragraph or two of Torah to the rock. And then instead of, he let Moses strike the rock. In any case, that was the reason that he died, and not because of going to Edom. So it says that he, 1 second, maybe is it here? He said because here it is. Moshe said, so Hagam, even though Shekavar Nigzar Gazerazu, even though there was already declared this is the Ohr HaChaim, even though it was already declared on Aaron that he was not going to come into the land of Israel. So what are you trying to blame it on Esav, that they came next to Esav? It wasn't because of that. It was because it says Efshar Shahaya Chai Od Yamim. It could be that he would live a few more days, or even more, a half a year. Oh, Lomar Shemagalgalim Chova Al Yedei Chayav comes to tell you that a bad thing happens because of bad people, right? That was the whole thing of Edom. But Derek Remez is coming to tell you that Aaron is going to stand up with Moshe in the future redemption. They're going to be the first ones, among the first ones to raise up from the dead, and they're going to redeem all of the Jewish people. Like it says, Va'anta Shama Kiyamei Neurim, and then a sentence that says that they're going to, okay, V'gula Tira, in this future redemption, right, he is Miad Adam. It's going to come because of Edom. Shehi Malchut Sam. This is the kingship of the devil. I mean, it's probably the church. Who knows what it is? I mean, the church is Rome. It says Edom is Rome. Lazeh Omar al Gavul Eretz Edom. Perush. What does it mean? Al Sibas Gavulam Asher Higbil. What does it mean on the Gavul Eretz Edom? That it's talking about the future redemption. That Aaron on the Har HaHar, they're going to raise up to redeem the Jewish people because they're on the edge of Edom. And they're going to put an end to it. It'll put an end. They're on the end boundary of Edom. Limsar b'yad Yisrael, and they'll be given over to the Jews. Therefore, Sham Yosef Aaron. That's where Aaron says was gathered to his people, only temporarily, right? For a while, 3,000 years, no big deal. And then he's going to come back with Moses. I mean, Moses died on Zion Adar. Zion Adar. So Zion Adar, that comes to be like almost, it's like a half a year later, right? Half a year later. So Aaron could have lived another half of a year and died with Moses. But because of this connection they had with Aaron, with Edom, so somebody had to go, and it was Aaron. Or another meaning is that he died for a good reason. He died near Edom because he's the one that's going to put an end to Edom, to Rome and all this. As it says, more. That's what it says. Vayasaf Aaron el Amav, that Aaron was gathered to his people, and that's what it means. El Amav. That's what it means, that he was gathered to his people. The Rambam is to tell us La Amav Atidim. It's talking about his people that are going to inherit the land of Edom. According to one opinion, that's one of the three lands that God promised to Abraham. He promised Abraham 10 countries. And it ended up, he only gave the Jewish people 7. And the Keni and the Kenizi and the Kadmoni, he did not give them. The Keni and the Kenizi and the Kadmoni are among the nations that God promised to Abraham. Remember in the whole story with God made this special covenant with Abraham, when the fire went through and the cloud, and he split these animals into 2. We promised them 10 nations, and we see that he only gave them 7. So it says those other 3 are going to be given, and some say that those 3 are Ammon and Moab and Edom. In any case, we're going to get it. The Yeos of Aaron was gathered into his people because God is speaking to both of them. Aaron should be gathered into his people because he's not going to go to land which I gave to the Jewish people, because you, Maritem Epi, you rebelled against my orders on Mei Meribah. And he says, you went against my mouth on Mei Meribah. And he says, what does it mean, my mouth? Here the Ohr HaChaim gives a beautiful explanation. and says, my mouth, you should have said words. I told you to use your mouth for what I wanted to. You should have said words of Torah to that rock, and you didn't do it, or you allowed Moses not to do it. Okay, so here's the story. Now we're going to learn about what actually happened. God says to Moses, Kach et Aaron, take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and Eleazar his son. What's Eleazar got to do with it? Is he going to die too? Let's see. Go up to this mountain. What does it mean, take Aaron? God should have just told Aaron, go, that's all. What do you mean take him? The divrei nichumim, with words of comfort. Moses said to him, Ashrecha, happy are you. Shetira kitracha natun lebanecha. You will see your crown given to your children, your son. Masha'en ani zakai lakach. Moses said, I am not merited to this. And it was Moses' two sons, they did not inherit the greatness of Moses. Moses gave everything over to Joshua. So Moses had the his sons Gershom and okay. So Aaron, Moses took the clothes off of Aaron and he put them on his son Eleazar. And his son, and Aaron gathered up and he died there. What it means he gathered up, Yosef, he was gathered. What does this mean? Well, let's see Rashi. He took off his clothes. Which clothes? The garments of the high priest, with all the, the stones and everything. And he put these garments on Eleazar. In other words, he removed them and put them on his son in front of him. Omer lo ikanes lamara. Moses said to him, go into the cave. There was a cave over there. He went in. Rom Mita, they went in and they saw that there was a bed and a candle lit. Sort of eerie picture. Omer lo, Moshe said, Allah lamita, get up on the bed. Ba'Allah, and he got up. Pashut yadayim, straighten your arms. Pashat. Kamatz et picha, close your mouth. Kamatz. Atzom menecha, close your eyes. Miyad chamed Moshe la'oto mita. Miyad, Moses said, if I'm going to go, I want to go like that. That's what God said, you're going to die like Aaron died. Mita shenitavula, the death that Moses desired. Here's Ohr HaChaim, a nice one. All these things are really very nice, but we can't do everything. It says over, what does it mean they took off his garments? It means to say, Zeh derech hafshet Aaron behifshita eino elami begadav. He removed his clothes, and that's what it says, his clothes. Avol yesh lo malbush acher. Take off these clothes, but there's another garment that Aaron immediately put on. I mean, what did Aaron? He was just laying there naked. He says, no. Immediately when he took off his garments, another garment clothed him. What is the garment? What garment clothed him? It says, Haya Aaron mafshit umalbish b'ani kabod. He took off these garments and there were clouds of glory. There were clouds of honor that enclosed him. So we see, Lo Nasha Muvshat. Aaron was never naked of garments, even at the time when Moshe removed his garments, he was not removed from his garments. In other words, he was not naked except for his garments, but there were other garments that did clothe him, namely this cloud of glory covered over. Every single, as soon as Moses removed it, as he would, this cloud would cover him over. They asked Moshe, so Moshe did just like God told him, and they went up on Mount Har in front of everybody. That's it. Moshe did what he said. He even says, what do you have to tell us this for? Of course Moses did it. He said, no, even though it was very difficult for him. Lo ikev, he did not delay at all. Moshe at Aaron, he did it. He took off his garment. This is just God commanding him to do it. Now he said, Moses took off the garments of Aaron and he put them on Eleazar, his son. And Aaron died there on the top of the mountain. And Moses and Eleazar came down alone. Bal HaTurim, Vayamos Aaron Sham. Take the gematria of all these letters. Vav is 6, Yud is 10, Mem is 40, Tuf is 400, etc. 1, 5, 250, another 300, and 300 is Shin, Mem is 40, right? I hope you've been counting. If you haven't, well, here's another thing you can count up. He said, this is the gematria of Melamed. This teaches us, Kimate, that he died bin Nishika, with the kiss of God. That's the same gematria. Vayamat Sham Aaron is the same gematria as it. Melamed she made bin Nishika. The people saw that Aaron died and they cried. 30 days, all of the Jewish people, they wept for Aaron for 30 days. Rashi, what does it mean? Kisharon Moshe, when they saw that Moses and Aaron were coming down and Aaron didn't come down, so all the Jewish people said, hey, where's Aaron? Moses said, Aaron, oh, he's dead. They said, what? Evshar Misha Ahmed Kaneged Malach. Aaron that stood against the angel of death, Batsar Magefan, he stopped a plague. Yishlot bo Malach Hamavet, he ruled over the angel of death. Can it possibly be that he's dead? Can't be. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Could it be that the person, Aaron, that he stood against the angel of death and he defeated, Yishlot bo Malach Hamavet, the angel of death can rule over Aaron? No way. Moses, we don't believe you. Miyad bikesh Moshe rachamim. Moses requested mercy. V'areu malchei shoret them mutal b'mita. They saw Aaron laying in this bed, dead. V'ro v'haminu, and they believed it. I mean, the same thing happened also when Moses went up on Mount Sinai and the Jewish people miscalculated. They thought that 40 days had passed. Moses said, I'm going to come back in 40 days. And they miscalculated and thought that Moses had gone over the time. And it says that the devil showed them Moses flying through the air. And they believed that also. But in any case, I guess that's the Jewish people. When they see dead people flying through the air, they believe it, whether it's for good or for not. And in this case, they believed it. All of the Jewish people, what does it mean? Called Beis Israel, Anashim v'Nashim, men and women, Kafi Shahaya Aaron, Rodef Shalom. What does it mean, all the Jewish people? Because Aaron, it says, he pursued peace, Umatel Ava, and he caused there to be love between Bali Maria, between two people who argued, and between a man and his wife. He would hear the people were making arguments. He knew how to calm everybody down and to show everybody else how the other person is lovable. Ki gava Aaron, Omarani, I say, Shemetargem Daha Mate, that he died. The people who said that Daha Mate, that he died, they're making a mistake. Ela im kein Targem v'yiru v'yechazu. They saw that he died. Shalom. Okay, this is more grammar. So let's go further. It says Vayiru, that they saw the Bal HaTurim again. Yaakov Bal HaTurim. He says this is Vayiru, the Jewish people. They saw, what did they see? It says Ba'ananim. They saw him in Vayiru Kol Edah. It says the people saw that Aaron was dead. What do you mean they saw? That's what he says. Rashi said they saw him in the clouds. So he said if you look, the word Vayiru is the same gematria, the same numerical value as in the clouds. Anyway, they cried for him 30 days. And the reason they cried him for 30 days for so long, it doesn't say that by anybody else, was because he made peace between everybody. Vayishma Kanani. As soon as Aaron died, the Kanani came and they attacked. Now, who are these Kanani? We're going to see this was Amelek. Yamach Shemo. This is a nation that their whole essence is just to hate the Jews. They don't even care if they get killed. Amelek, the Kanani, they also attacked the Jews just as they were leaving Egypt. Just as after they left Egypt, the Canaanim also came. Amelek, Vayavo Amelek. Amelek came and they attacked. That's what we read over there in Purim. Amelek came and attacked. Well, here it comes again, the Canaani all the time, but this time they're in disguise. Their disguise is Canaani. There came the Canaani, the king of Arad, that's in the south, and he heard that the Jewish people came by the means of this place called the Atarim, and he made a war with the Jews. And he took Mimenu Shevi, he took a prisoner. Vayesh Mimenu Shevi, it doesn't say Vayeshvu Mimenu Shvuyim. He took a prisoner. Also, it says he made a war be Yisrael. Let's see if we can get this. It says made a war in Yisrael. The Ohr HaChaim again asked the question. It says, why does it say in Yisrael? Why doesn't it say, why does it made a war in Yisrael? It should say in Yisrael. Why does it say in Yisrael? Like it says earlier in Parshas Beshalach when Amalek came and he fought with Yisrael. Here it means to say that he fought in Yisrael because the reason that he fought against the Jews, it came from the Jews itself. Chatatam, because the sin of the Jews. Gam Masha Omer, also what it says later, Vayeshma and Shevi. What does it mean? That this is a reason they took, it says they didn't, the Canaanim, they didn't take a Jew as a prisoner, they took a prisoner as a prisoner. Vayesh, they took prisoner a prisoner. It doesn't say they took as a prisoner a Jew. It says they took a person. A second. Chevy. It says that because of their sins, the sin of the Jewish people, they complained a lot against God. The sin, that was the reason that Aaron died, because of the Mei Meriva, right? And also Moses was going to die. That says later on. And 1 minute, what did I do here? Yeah. Okay, right. And therefore, that's what happened because of this, of the sin, be Israel, because of the sins of the Jewish people, they lost Aaron and Moshe, and that weakened them, and therefore that caused them to be attacked. Here it says they took a prisoner. The prisoner was somebody that the Jews had all taken from them prisoner earlier, and now they took it. Okay. It says that another point is that the Canaanim fought against the Jews, they attacked suddenly, and they took a prisoner. What do you mean took a prisoner? That's all they succeeded in doing. Below Hemit Ish, they didn't kill anybody. They just took a prisoner. And in fact, they didn't even really take a Jew as a prisoner. They just took somebody who had already been a prisoner. Okay. Vayidu Yisrael Neder Lemo. Oh, let's look at Rashi. Rashi says over here, this is a good Rashi. Shama, they heard that Aaron died and that the clouds of glory went away, like it says in the Gemara Rosh Hashanah. And the Amelek, this is the nation of Amelek. He came from Me'olam Rotsua Mardus B'Yisrael. They're always ready to make trouble for the Jewish people. Mezum Kol Eis Tapranius. They're always want to make trouble for the Jews. Who are they? This is Amalek. It says Amalek Yeshev Eretz Negev. When it says that they were sitting in the Negev, this is talking about Amalek. Why does it say over here they were Canaani? Because they changed their language. They taught everybody, the Amaleks, they were very talented people. And they taught all their soldiers to speak Canaani language so that the Jewish people would pray to God and say, please save us from the Canaanim, God. And these are not Canaanim. So God will say, okay, I'll save you for the Canaanim, but these are not the Canaanim. Well, as soon as the Jews saw the garments were the garments of Amalek, but they were speaking the language of Canaani, so the Jews said, we don't really know what's going on over here, so let's just pray, God, save us from our enemies. That's what it says. Naton titen et ha'am hazeh biyadi. Moses says, if you just put this strange people that's attacking us in my hands, then, and that's what it says over here. Yisrael made a vow and said, if you give this nation that's attacking me in my hand, then I will give all of their properties to you, God. And God listened, and he put the Canaani, and he destroyed everything, all their cities and all their lands, and etc. But he did not destroy all of the Canaanim. Why did he say Natan Titen, double? Because they didn't know what nation it was. They didn't know what nation it was. They dressed like Canaani, they're like Ameleks, and they spoke like Canaani. Figure we don't know exactly what's going on. So therefore he said, that's what he said. If they had a commandment, the Jews had a commandment to go into the land of Israel and to kill everybody that was there. It says God put the worst people in the world, the amoral and cruel people in the world, he put them in Canaan, lowest people in the world. That's why it says the Canaan. It says they were the most immoral people in the world. So they had to kill all of them. So that's what they prayed. They prayed, if these strange people that are attacking us, they're from one of the 7 nations, then that's good. And if not, Notan. And if not, if some other nation like Amelek or whatever, then Titain. The rabbis say, Notan, a Kanani, Titain Hashavi. Said, give us the Kanani and also give us this prisoner that they took, give it back to us. And they won. They won. Bayachrim Chorma. And now we're going to learn, this is what we learned in the morning. Remember we had the class in the morning about the copper snake? Well, that's what we're going to learn tomorrow. And God willing, I hope we'll finish. Thank you very much. Hope to see you tomorrow morning, 8:15. God bless you all and have a good day.